Hi guys, this is episode 2, and what I want to discuss today with you guys is really all about diesels, pre-combustion chamber type diesel heads, and one of the reasons why they crack. A lot of people own diesels now, and they drive about 80,000, 150,000, 200,000 k's, and they develop cracking in the cylinder. And I just want to explain to you how powerful steam is, and how steam does play a really big role in the cracking of the cylinder heads. So what we have is, we'll have an engine block, and the water comes up from the engine block, goes into these transfer holes that you can see here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. They do a right-hand turn, and then they pressurise the water to the pre-combustion chambered area. They keep pressure up here. But one of the things that's not very well known is that you get this boiling, you get these areas inside diesel heads, they're almost like billabongs or backwater areas. And I'll just show you here. You get cleavages, and these cleavages go nowhere. And what happens is the water boils in here, and it's not very helpful with diesels and any other type of head. But what happens is the water will start to boil in this transfer passage in here. And when it starts to boil, it stops the water getting pumped in here. The steam keeps pushing the water back. And what will happen is that this area, this pre-combustion chamber area, will develop cracking. And you'll notice a lot of the cracking is sort of off these valve seats, or it's across between the webbing, because there's not a lot of metal in here, because this is a water passage that comes through here and feeds the pre-combustion chamber. So this is one of the weak points that you'll get. And if an engine is in this area is superheated, it'll just keep pushing and pushing that water back, and won't allow the pre-combustion chambered area to be cooled. So a lot's not known. You can see here with this cylinder head here, there's backwater areas where, and that's an exhaust port. You can't really see what's going on, but because in this one we've actually sliced it. But you've got these billabong areas where the water boils, and you can imagine this is an exhaust port, and the water's just boiling in here and cooking this water, which develops into steam, and then that steam is then getting driven slowly into the water pump, and in a lot of cases the water pump pressure will stall. You can measure water pump pressure, and I'm just going to show you a very, very neat little device that we made a while ago. What this is, and a lot of you guys have seen these are the top radiator hose inserts that we make. What we do is we drill a small hole right down the thickness of the top radiator hose, and we don't quite break in all the way, but we have a little hole just breaking into that hole. And what you do is just get a 1/8 BSP fitting, a piece of rubber hose, and you can run that piece of rubber hose into the vehicle, and you can put a pressure gauge in the vehicle. Now, if you put this in the top radiator hose and the water's coming from this direction, so it's coming up from the radiator back into the top hose, and it will pressurise. The water will pressurise in there, and you'll actually be able to monitor the water pressure inside the cabin as you're driving. Just a simple 0 to 30 psi gauge is good enough. Some rubber hose, and you can easily monitor the effectiveness of the water pump. And you'll be surprised at some stages with some vehicles and with some design of the water pumps, the impeller part, you'll see how quickly the pump will lose its pressure, and it'll just become a vitamizer. Just because you can't see what's going inside the engine doesn't mean that the pump is actually 13 psi, and in a lot of cases drop off to almost 0 when it comes to water pump pressure. So this is another demonstration of how you can monitor the pressures within inside your engine, the water pump pressures. So give it a go, get a bit of hose, get one of these TRIs, you can make them very simply, and do some testing. Anyway, cheerio.